Why it's important, if for instance that actually everyone is on a spiritual journey, but we are actually speaking to, say, a spiritual journey of knowing who you are, for instance. Okay, if you don't practice, you'll stay in the same pattern. If, for instance, you go in to find out who you are and how to improve our lives, we have to take into account that we are a program. And yet, the real self is not a program. And what I mean by this is that you often say, I this and I that. When you go to do something and you know it's wrong, there's something that says to you, don't do it. But we still do it. So, why we need to practice is to understand why we do it. And what that means is changing our program. And if you see your body as a car, it's important to be able to drive your car as smoothly as you can. So if you don't know what the car is, your car, your body, you're going to have quite a few problems in life. We are going to have quite a few problems in life. So go back to what you'd mentioned to me previously. Why do we have to practice? Number one, from the age of 7, your program from that age is very influential to your future within life. They often say the Greek and a lot of the ancient teachers, give me a child till 7 and I'll tell you a lot of what's going to happen to that child and what his life is going to be ahead. Because it's a form of a program. Of course it has individual likes and dislikes and slightly different programs. So, as I've said previously, you're a program. So what we have to do in a sense is deprogram yourself. If we've got a bad habit, deprogram ourselves. And how do we do it? It's by practice, practice, practice. If you're doing, for instance, spiritual healing or Reiki, how do you become a therapist? It's by practice, practice, practice. It's not by reading a book. It's by practicing and studying. And that's why it's important to practice, study, and be dedicated on your spiritual journey. It's not just a matter of sitting there and reading books. If it's a matter of reading books and you're collecting knowledge of the self, and you have people around you who can give you guidance to what you are reading, because otherwise you'd be reading it in your own ignorance of not knowing what these terms mean. So practice is very important. And just to finish off, if, for instance, you wanted to learn how to drive a car, what do? You go and see a driving instructor. Then you go and study. You learn to drive that way so that your journey is more comfortable. So if you see your body as a car, as a vehicle, which it is, again, you'd have to sit down and study and reprogram ourselves that we can do, for instance, better journeys in our life, better thinking, better actions, better thoughts. So that's why it's important to practice, practice, practice. As we are students on the path, and it's very important to do this.